Hello everyone, it's Uma and I'm here with a brand new question on the Grief and Loss Q&A series. People have been sending me questions that they have about grief and loss, and these questions sometimes come to me from my private sessions with clients, sometimes from workshop participants, and I have been compiling these questions just to do these live videos to inform and educate and hopefully inspire you to take action. Here's today's question. When will I get over the grief of a loved one's death? When will I get over the grief of a loved one's death? Now, I want you to know that it is almost impossible to get over the grief of a loved one's death. Loss changes you, but you must accept that you will never ever get over the grief of a loved one's passing. And that is because you integrate the loss. You integrate the loss and make it a part of you. So grief changes you from deep within. I like to say that you shatter into a million pieces. Your heart is broken, you become someone you didn't used to be, because that's what happens. Loss enters your life and it changes you at this very core, deep level. But once your heart is shattered, what you do as you're healing from loss is that you gather these shattered pieces of your heart, of yourself, of the person you used to be, and you fashion them into a brand new mosaic. In other words, you reinvent yourself or you recreate yourself from the person you used to be. You are no longer the person you were before the loss. You change, you become different, and you integrate what you learned, what you acquired, the lessons that came to you, the sense of values that have shifted within you. All of these things you begin to integrate, and that defines the new person you become. So you don't ever get over grief. You just integrate loss into your life. That being said, I want to say that the pain does become less constricting as time goes by. So you're not going to be in that same intensity of pain that you felt in the aftermath of loss. As you move through life and as you move through life experiences, the intensity of loss does become less. But there is a condition. The pain is no longer constricting if you listen to it and work with it. That is really the truth of loss. We need to listen to our pain and learn to work with it. And if you do that work, if you show up for your pain without running away, without hiding, without numbing, without feeling the need to distract yourself 24/7, then you begin to work with the pain, and over time you process your grief, and the pain is no longer as constricting as it used to be. So then what happens is that you begin to learn to carry the love you shared with your loved one without carrying the pain. And that is really a beautiful place to be. Even if you can't see that today, even if you can't glimpse what that looks like today, don't be the least bit concerned. That is the nature of walking down this path. You don't see it in the weeks or months after loss. It is a lifelong journey. And as you begin to integrate the loss into your life and you learn the lessons, you begin to share the lessons, you begin to serve other people, you begin to be more fully who you are because of what you lost, because of what you loved and lost. Then you begin to learn to carry the love without the pain. So I like to think of it like a mountain climber who's carrying a heavy backpack, right? As this mountain climber starts his ascent up the mountain, the backpack is really heavy and he's out of breath, and he may have spent years preparing for this climb, but even so, when he begins, it's hard. But as the ascent progresses, as his muscles get tougher, and as he learns to take the terrain, the climb becomes easier, the backpack becomes lighter because he is getting stronger. He is learning to how to navigate this terrain with more ease. And that's sort of how grief and loss work too. If you learn to work with it, if you learn to listen to it, if you learn to integrate the lessons, then the climb becomes easier. So, one final point before I finish. So many people go through life without addressing their grief. But know that grief leaks out of you in one way or another, right? If you allow grief to shut your heart, chances are you shut your heart out to joy as well. You can't have one without the other, because all our emotions live in the heart space. And if you shut your heart off to feelings of sadness, grief, and loss, then you automatically shut yourself off to feeling joy, because you become more guarded, you become less of who you are instead of allowing loss to open you up and living more fully and deeply from that space of authenticity. So this is what I wanted to share with you. If you are enjoying these Q&A videos, I've posted a link right on top of this video. It is an e-course of mine that's called Responding to Grief and Loss. Check it out. Click on the link. It'll take you to the page. And in that course, which is an audio course, I have put together different segments. And each of these segments addresses a specific type of grief. It addresses a specific aspect of the grieving process. And it's a bunch of questions to which I am narrating the answers. So that's called Responding to Grief and Loss. Check it out. The link is right above this video. If you have any questions about what I just shared, leave a comment. I'll be happy to take a look at it, read it, and answer. And if you enjoyed this video, please do me the favor of sharing it with your community, your friends. There are so many people grieving out there. Let's help them one person at a time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I look forward to talking with you real soon. Bye.